You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Over 30 people were injured during a bus crash Sunday afternoon in Schuylkill County. The motor coach owned by Premier #1 Limousine Service was carrying freshman and sophomore girls and their leaders from the LCBC Church in Lancaster County around 2:30 Sunday afternoon when it crashed into a wooded area near exit 112 off Interstate 81 South. Police say the bus driver lost control, went down a hill, hit an embankment, and crashed into some trees. 32 people were transported to area hospitals, and 5 were said to be in critical condition, including the bus driver, 37-year-old Adam Wright. An emergency responder was also treated for minor injuries. One man was killed Saturday afternoon during a crash on Interstate 81 in Klein Township. The man, whose name hasn't been released at this time, was a passenger in a Freightliner vehicle that crashed on the interstate around 5 p.m. The driver, 24-year-old Satnam Singh, failed to negotiate a curve on the ramp from Route 309 and hit an embankment before overturning the vehicle. Police said the victim was ejected from the rig and died at the scene. Singh was taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton, for treatment of minor injuries. A business in McAdoo was badly damaged after a van crashed into it over the weekend. State police said the driver of a Caputo painting van lost control and crashed into Floral Creations on Route 309 just around 3:30 Saturday afternoon. The building sustained heavy damage, and firefighters had to stabilize the front and corner of the building in order to prevent it from collapsing. The driver sustained minor injuries during that crash in Schuylkill County. Berwick police carried out an arrest warrant Friday on a man charged with rape and assault. Berwick police worked alongside the USMS Violent Offender Task Force and officers from Shamokin and Cole Township to execute the warrant at 1149 West Arch Street, where 41-year-old Brian Austin was taken into custody without incident. Austin was wanted on rape and aggravated indecent assault charges stemming from an incident that occurred in the borough back in 2018. He was transported back to Columbia County Prison, where he was arraigned and kept after failing to post $100,000 bail. Crews from PA American Water were on the search for a water main break somewhere near Luzerne County Community College in Nanticoke. Water issues were noticed Friday morning around 7, and the break was still affecting residents today, who were reporting low or no water pressure. The Nanticoke Area School District was closed while crews continued to work out the situation. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for PA American Water said that water tankers were brought to the community as a backup water source. The leak was located earlier today, and water pressure has since returned to normal. Pfizer is seeking authorization to use their vaccines for children ages 5 to 11. As school starts back up, many parents have been patiently waiting for vaccinations to open up for younger children. Pfizer stated that it tested a much lower dose of the vaccine for elementary school-aged children and found that they developed antibodies as strong as those developed by teenagers and younger adults after the second dose. The company said it's aiming to apply for approval with the FDA for emergency use in this age group by the end of the month, followed by applications to European and British regulators. And before we dive into Friday night's play action, our Philip Kaufman has the story behind Crestwood's Salute to Service pregame event.
Crestwood High School paid their respects to veterans working with organizations like Veterans Promise. Our Mike Sosar was on the field speaking with Vice President of Veterans Promise, Ray Stender.
At Veterans Promise, we deal with a lot of vets that are in a crisis situation. We have drug and alcohol classes. We help the families of veterans that have committed suicide. All of our services, whether it's counseling or whatever, we have grants that are available. This is all free. All they have to do is reach out and contact us.
Another group working alongside Veterans Promise was Valor. The groups had booths out at the game with raffles for signed jerseys and various sports memorabilia, and all of the money raised will be distributed between the two.
And all the funds are going to be distributed between Valor and Veterans Promise to help both of these associations that can deal with the veterans that are living within this area and their families.
So a big shout out to the schools for having this special night, because it's events like these that help support the organizations and support the troops.
Without these two schools coming together and saying, hey, let's do something for the veterans, this would never be happening. So we owe our hats off to everybody that's here, everybody that's contributing to this. We appreciate this so much, because you have to understand all the veterans in this area that we're going to be able to help through this evening.
Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. A dedication was held at the Hazelton Art League for a work of art donated by a renowned stained glass artist. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich spoke with the woman who created the timeless piece.
A local artist was honored Friday night during a dedication ceremony hosted by the Hazelton Art League, the Downtown Hazelton Alliance for Progress, and Banking on the Arts campaign. Randy Pachentz is the talent behind the 9-foot by 11-foot stained glass window, which is now the focal point at the Hayden Family Center for the Arts on Broad Street.
I've made several large things in my time, so I'm used to it, and it didn't take long. I never keep track, because I think sometimes if you keep track of something, you say, 14 days it took, I don't know if I can do it again. So I just don't like to know. When it's finished, it's finished.
Mrs. Pachentz created the window at her home and donated it to the Art League earlier this year. The magnificent piece captures the attention of both art lovers and passerbys of the building.
For some reason, when I walked in, even though I made it, it surprised me. I said, it's in a good place, it's in a perfect place, and I hope people enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it tonight.
Mayor Jeff Cassat was on hand to present Mrs. Pachentz with a proclamation from the city.
Great piece of the addition to the downtown Hazelton. She did a wonderful job down here. It's an amazing. And now we have a masterpiece that will be there forever.
She not only creates stained glass artwork, she teaches it as well and has a message for aspiring artists.
Yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. Even when you say, I could never make something that's small, or I could never make something that's big, that's not true. But I said, you just can't start with a bad attitude. You have to say, hey, I'm going to really try this. And amazingly, it works out. So I highly recommend it.
You can see the stained glass window up close and personal by visiting the Hazelton Art League at 31 West Broad Street. In Hazelton, for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on WYLN News, highlights from Friday night's Comets-Wildcats matchup, plus more on Monday Night Football. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Vinoho. I'm 12 years old, and this is your WYLN forecast for the week.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment, copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available, free off-street parking, and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazelton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
It's high school football time. Watch WYLN for all the local high school football action as we bring you the event, not just the highlights, like only WYLN can. The Game of the Week on WYLN TV is sponsored by Lehigh Valley Health Network, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner. For the best in local sports, watch WYLN TV 35, the event, not just the highlights.
Hey guys, Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazelton Used Car Superstore. That's right. We've got a huge selection. We have over 2,000 used cars on the web, and we have over 200 on site here in Hazelton. Whether you're looking for a pre-owned Denali truck, a Chevy Silverado, a Corvette, a BMW, we have a huge selection here at Blaze Alexander. If you're looking for a good pre-owned car, we're getting them in by the truckloads. So if you're in the market and you want a choice, come to Blaze Alexander Greater Hazelton and see where we have the cars and take the deals the other guys won't.
With season coverage comes Game of the Week highlights, and our Rhino Sachi has the recap from Friday night's Comets-Wildcats matchup.
Friday night, WYLN brought you Week 4 of live high school football as the Western Wayne Wildcats traveled to Mountaintop to take on the Crestwood Comets. Coming into this game, Western Wayne was 2-0, while Crestwood was 0-2. But that didn't stop the Comets from gaining momentum near the end of the second quarter on a long Noah Schultz run. The Comets would use that momentum to drive down to the 5-yard line and get on the board with a Brendan Dennis touchdown on a double reverse to take the lead 7-0.
Coming around to score a 2, Italian guys, Pizzeria, touchdown.
And the Comets would strike again in the third quarter on an Alan Angon touchdown.
Angon again, straight up the middle, he's in for a 2, Italian guys, Pizzeria, Crestwood, touchdown.
With 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Ethan Shudak would score for the Comets, giving them a 21-0 lead.
Shudak cuts it back to the end zone for a 2, Italian guys, Pizzeria, Crestwood, touchdown.
With under 2 minutes left in the game, the Comets played excellent defense to get the ball back on a 3-and-out and would run the clock out to get the victory with a final score of 21-0. The Comets are now 1-2 on the year, and Western Wayne is 2-1. Reporting for WYLN Sports, I'm Ryan Osachi.
Thanks, Ryan. And speaking of, our WYLN Sports crew's already gearing up to bring you game number 5 of the 2021 high school football season. We kick off with some live Bulldog Millionaires action this Friday, September 24th, when we travel to Crispin Field for the Berwick-Williamsport matchup. Tune in for your Friday night fill of Marty Burns, Jonah Melfi, and our WYLN Sports crew, bringing you the event, not just the highlights. Sponsored by Lehigh Valley Health Network, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner. No plans Friday night? No problem. Got some? Well, cancel them. Instead, tune in for your weekly dose of Friday night football and all the live local action right here on WYLN TV. WYLN's all-time OT hero, Marty Burns, has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. So, let's talk sports.
Welcome to Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Blaze Alexander Family Dealership Hazelton. And week number 2 of the NFL season comes to an end tonight. Monday Night Football, as the Lions head to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Lions have a new coach. They have a new quarterback in Jared Goff. He did a great job in trying to bring the Lions back at home last week against the San Francisco 49ers. Just fell a little short, but I think a lot of the talk this week could make the Lions very dangerous because so many people are focusing on the Packers. What's wrong with the Packers after that big loss to the Saints? Aaron Rodgers in what is arguably his worst game as a professional with the Packers. Was there too much jeopardy for him? Too much girlfriend turned fiancé for him in the offseason? Too much maybe trying to be like Brett Favre, Tom Brady, getting himself out of Green Bay and that soap opera, and then he ends up staying in Green Bay? Really, what is going on with the Packers, specifically Aaron Rodgers and the coaching staff? And then how does that affect the rest of that locker room? We'll find out tonight as the Packers come home for their home opener of the 2021 season. But both of these teams, 0-1, we see that so often. You don't want to go 0-2 to start the season. So you're going to pull out all the stops tonight to get yourself even at 1-1, whether you're Detroit or Green Bay. And it'll also be very interesting to see how the Packer fans receive Aaron Rodgers coming back after he made such a thing about possibly leaving and then putting up the performance that he put up a week ago. So Monday Night Football, Lions, Packers, enjoy. Now we send it over to one of our rowdy friends, Julia.
Thanks, Marty. Coming up on Makanakwa's News Choice, details on the 10th annual Berwick River Fest. Plus, who's leading the way this week? Stay with us and find out.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
Everyday low prices.
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazelton, everything to make your house a home.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazelton, has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super. Man, 570-497-4150.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns, host of Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazelton area high school football. Join us every week as I'll be joined by head coach Dennis Bookman as we go over past Hazelton area opponents, we'll look ahead to a future opponent, and have a guest from the Cougar football program. That's all this season on Sports Talk, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Pause for a Cause for Autism, Sunday, October 3rd at the Whitetail Preserve. Registration begins at 8:30 for the 5K, 10K. Come jog with your dog. All vendors are welcome, $25 a table. Please contact the Safe Office at safeoffice@autismsafe.com or visit the Crafters online sign-up on the screen. It's the Pause for a Cause for Autism, Sunday, October 3rd.
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today we are on location in Berwick with Damien here because today we are going to be previewing and talking about the Berwick River Fest. Now, I know it was canceled last year, and this year it is back.
Yes, absolutely. We were disappointed to have to cancel last year. It was just unfortunate with the times that we were in, but we're excited to come back bigger, hopefully better than ever. We have a nice variety of vendors. We're looking at about 150 between food and crafts. We have games and activities for the kids, live bands, tractor pools. I really think there's something for everybody.
And as we all remember and love the fact that it is 3 days. Now it runs from October 8th, 9th, and 10th that weekend. When does everything kind of start?
You can kind of get going around lunchtime each of those days. Some of the vendors might be open. There's always a few vendors who have some breakfast offerings. I know on Saturday the tractor pools get going pretty early, 8, 9 o'clock, so there's a few food choices that have their doors open and ready to go to feed the hungry people. But usually around lunchtime is when things are really kicking off more in earnest, yeah.
Now, how can what's the parking situation like?
So the parking is in the field down at Test Track Park. It's actually the Youth Football League allows us to use their practice field for parking during the week, so we have plenty of space to safely park where the cars aren't getting in the way of where people are trying to walk to the festival itself. But it gets a little tight when things are really busy. I think people have had to park going up Eaton Street, even as far as the old Kmart Plaza parking lot. But usually if you get there early enough, you'll have no problem getting a good spot down in the field.
Now, there's no admission fee, correct? It's all free?
Everything is free. All entertainment is free. Admission is free. Parking is free. Obviously, if you want to buy yourself something when you're there, which we strongly encourage, that's going to cost you a little bit. But beyond that, we want everybody to come out and just enjoy themselves and have a good time at no real cost.
Now, the live bands, what genres can we expect?
I think there's a little bit of everything. We have a couple more oldies. We have a couple that kind of run the gamut, the 80s, 90s, and today gamut. You have a couple country, at least one country group. It's a little bit of everything. I think if you enjoy music, you can find at least one of the bands throughout the weekend as being something that you like.
There's going to be a lot of vendors. What kind of vendors can we expect, and can people still sign up to be a vendor?
Well, answering your second question first, we are getting close to capacity, so if you think you'd like to be a vendor at Riverfest, I would absolutely encourage you to give us a call at City Hall, ask to talk to Nancy, and she'll do her best to get you signed up. We do have limits in not having too much of the same thing, but if possible, she'll get you in, so please don't wait to the last second for that. As far as what you can expect, we have almost any kind of fair and festival food you can imagine, which is my personal favorite part. And then there's a lot of just crafters and special novelty item type things. I think a toy seller just signed up the other day. So again, a little bit of everything, something for everyone. Definitely a great place to come out and spend a few hours that weekend.
All right. Is there one big takeaway that you want our viewers and our audience to remember about Riverfest?
I really think that Riverfest is just about the perfect festival between the free to get in and park and entertainment and the variety of offerings that we have, and we do have a lot of entertainment, and it's really just about the perfect setting. If you haven't ever been down to Test Track Park, just along the river there, it's absolutely beautiful. My takeaway would be, come out, you're going to have a good time. If you haven't been there before, give it a shot. I promise you, if you give it a shot this year, you'll be coming back next year.
Well, thank you so much, Damien, for squeezing us in today to give us the details.
Hey, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, mark your calendars. Riverfest, Berwick, at the Test Track, October 8th, 9th, and 10th. Be sure to be there. That's it for this Community and You. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
So Soul Spacemen on WYLN TV 35. Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 4, Sundays at 9.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazelton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Rocco Patron's leading the way to kick off this week's series.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leading the Way, where we explore the backstories of those paving NEPA towards a better future. This week we are joined by Rocco Patron. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to start off where we always start, the beginning. Tell us a little bit about growing up and early life and just where that led you into life.
Well, first, thank you for asking that question. I grew up in a household run by Joe and Ann Patron, two of the best parents with 7 children, 6 boys, 1 girl. We actually grew up in a row home where we were taught family values, tradition, respect, and probably most importantly, hard work.
Yeah.
We saw our father work extremely hard, our mother a stay-at-home mom, but working extremely hard to take care of 7 children. So I couldn't have asked for a better upbringing than Joe and Ann gave me.
Yeah, and that kind of, that upbringing, where did that lead you to pursue, the path that you did?
Well, I had 4 older brothers who went right into the workforce right after high school, and I wanted to give college a try, which was unheard of in our family at the time, but we grew up with such values, and youth sports was so important to my father, and I saw how he gave to himself to the students in our communities playing sports. So I kind of wanted to make a living out of that, and the best thing I could think of is to inspire students and motivate students was teaching. And went to Penn State University after graduating from Hazelton High School in 1980. Went on to Penn State University, graduated with education in 1985, and was very fortunate to get a job in Hazelton Area School District.
All right, folks, check back tomorrow as Rocco continues leading the way into part 2 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.